Today on my channel, we are going to be diving into my winter capsule, but talking specifically about cashmere. Now, if you have seen my video all about my winter capsule wardrobe and the new items that I'm bringing in that I had already owned and a couple that I'm adding in throughout this season, a lot of my sweaters and those type of items, a lot of the items that I have are sweaters that are cashmere. Now, I have some t-shirt type shirts and a couple blouses, but the majority of what I wear in the winter season here in New England is cashmere. Now, I did do a whole video all about my winter capsule wardrobe, and you can see all of the items that I chose if you are interested. But today we're going to focus in on those cashmere pieces. And all of these ones you're seeing back here are the cashmere that I currently own. I do also want to mention before I go too far, I know a lot of you are women watching my videos, but this would be a great gift idea if you need an idea for your significant other to purchase for you. I always struggle with coming up with ideas to tell Marty to get me, and cashmere is a great option that you will have for years and years to come that could be a little bit more pricey than you would typically spend on something. So if any of these items interest you, definitely send those links down below onto your significant other. I am going to walk you through the different cuts that I have. The turtleneck that I'm wearing right now today is just a t-shirt turtleneck. I did not want to put one of these on as I talked through them because I wanted to have them all to physically show you. And as you see these, you will see me trying them on for you, and you'll be able to see how they fit on my body. And you'll be able to physically see as I put them on the things that I'm talking about. Also, if you are new around here and you love the idea of a capsule wardrobe like I have been getting into this year, definitely make sure you are subscribed and following along. And don't forget also to follow over on my Instagram, because that is where you are seeing more outfits that I'm curating with the pieces that you see in my capsule. So when we're talking about cashmere, there are a multitude of different brands that I have tried. Some of the top ones that come to mind are Halogen from Nordstrom, Nordstrom Signature. I have now added in some quince pieces. I have always, my favorites are Pura Cashmere. I have also tried Aqua, which I think is from Bloomingdale's, Saks Fifth Avenue one, and Gobi Cashmere. I think those are the main ones that I have tried over the years and that I have here to show you. Now, cashmere can range anything from, you can find cashmere at the Gap and you can find it at Bloomingdale's. You will personally have to figure out what best works with your 3 words. I have my 3 words, which are comfortable, elegant, and chic. And then also within that, you have to figure out your price range that you are willing to spend. It used to be that cashmere was only sold at super high price points and was very inaccessible. Now it is very accessible. There are, be aware, some items that are cashmere blends. So it's cashmere and wool. So it's not going to have that same soft feel of pure cashmere. So make sure you are paying attention to the labels when you are looking at something like this. I have owned everything from a really, really thin one that's almost like a t-shirt to thicker ones that definitely have more substance to them and more feel to them. Now, as far as cashmere pieces I own everything from, I have V-neck sweaters, I have crew neck sweaters, I have mock neck turtlenecks, I have turtlenecks, I have hoodie, sweatshirt, sweaters, and then I also have cashmere scarves that I wear. So we are going to start off with a V-neck, because V-necks are actually an item that I start wearing in cashmere in the fall. So I use these because when your neck is open, you're getting a little bit more air to it. In the winter, we tend to want something a little bit higher. You can add a scarf. I do that a lot. But in the fall, I'm actually able to wear cashmere pieces because they are still light and airy and they're soft, but keeping that V-neck, it still kind of incorporates in for those days where it's a little bit cooler, but not quite as cool as winter. Now, I don't wear them as frequently in the winter. I do also want to mention, as far as price point, you can find anything from $30 on up to a couple $100. Now, and there's even past that. Now, my perfect price point is somewhere between $50 to $100. I tap out at around 125 is my top. That's my top that I like to pay for something. And I want it to be an item that I'm going to wear continuously year after year. Because I know I can find good, solid cashmere, even if I start with just a piece or two. And then what I have personally done was I add pieces in at the end of season when they're on sale. I also own one coat that is a cashmere blend, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to stick strictly with the items that are in my winter capsule. Now I'm going to start with a V-neck sweater, and then I'm going to work my way through all the different types. Now I have one here that is pure cashmere and one that is a blend, and I'm going to show you and talk you through those. The first one is a brand that I love. This is from Bloomingdale's. It is the brand Aqua. I generally get them on sale anytime from January on, anywhere from the $60 to $90 range. Now I will say with Aqua Cashmere, it is a very, very, very soft cashmere, very well made. It is generally a little bit on the middle of the line as far as thickness. It's not super thin, but it's not a super thick, crazy one. So that is why this one actually also works well in through the fall. It is an amazing piece. I have had some Aqua pieces for many, many years. Then the next piece is actually, I think it's considered a wool alpaca blend. So I'm not 100% sure now that I'm saying this and I'm standing here that it has cashmere in it. I think it does because the majority of the things I've gotten from them are. But this, if this is not cashmere, I'll tell you what, I am shocked because it feels heavenly. This is from the brand Quince. This is a lesser price point brand. I think I paid for this one $55, I think something like that. This is one that has, it's a more of a cropped cardigan. You have seen this in the past. I had this in my fall capsule. I love, love, love this piece. I've considered buying it in other colors because I do truly love it that much. It's the perfect length, the perfect softness. It is just stunning. Now talking about crew neck sweaters, I have one from Halogen, which is a Nordstrom brand in a light gray. I have one from the brand Gobi, and this is a Mongolian cashmere, it says. And then I have one from, I believe this is Saks Fifth Avenue. This is a newer one to me that I recently picked up that is a crew neck as well. Now I will say these are strictly the ones that are in my winter capsule. However, I do own other crew necks that are from the brand Aqua that I love. They are more of brighter colors and they are a high-low. I had purchased those quite a few years ago. I don't grab for them as frequently. I don't go for those colors as much in the winter, and I thought I would wear them in other seasons, and I don't. But the Aqua, as I mentioned before, is a great brand that you can get at a really nice price point. So let's talk Halogen. Halogen actually, surprisingly, for Nordstrom is a very, very nice cashmere. It is 100% cashmere. I do have this in a size large. I will say for some reason, the crew necks, I need all of them in true to size, a size large. And they just hang better on me that way. Something about the crew necks are cut more like a fitted tee than some of the other items I'm going to talk about. Now I will say, a heather gray crew neck sweater, whether it's cashmere or not, I personally, as I mentioned, prefer it, is like your white t-shirt of the spring, summer, and fall. It is an item that you will grab for time and time again. It gives that same look of the simplicity of something that is just very, very basic, but elevated with the cashmere, with the crew neck, with the heathered gray look. It is definitely a staple that you should have in your wardrobe, whether you are doing a capsule or not. The next one is from the brand Gobi, and this is a Mongolian cashmere. This one is a darker heathered gray. It's not quite black, as you can see. I'm wearing a black turtleneck here. Now the Gobi ones, I will say, are very, very thin. This is one that I generally layer something else underneath of, a long sleeve tee, a short sleeve tee, a tank. And this is generally something that I wear more in the fall time because it is so thin by comparison. I like it, but I don't think I would repurchase from that brand. Then we have the Saks Fifth Avenue one. This is in a beautiful kind of blue color. This shows well on my skin tone. It's still in that neutral family for this time of year. This again is very similar feel the Saks Fifth Avenue brand and the Aqua brand have a very similar feel as far as thickness to them. Now that I'm feeling it, I'm touching. The Halogen as well has a very similar feel. So those are very similar in thickness and in feel. Now, as far as the Halogen, they're usually able to be found around the $75 price range. I don't honestly remember how much the Gobi was, because after I got it and wore it and realized the thinness of it, I didn't love it. So I never really looked into it. I still wear it, but I didn't look into it. Now the Saks Fifth Avenue still has the tag on it. It was $79, and I guarantee you, I probably got it on sale because, again, Saks Fifth Avenue has great sales on their cashmere as well. Moving into more of a mock neck style. This first one, I'm going to be honest, is kind of a cross between a crew neck and a mock neck because it is more of a rounded neck, but it does go up just a little bit. This one I actually got is from Lily Silk. It's got to be a large. It looks like it's a large. This is you can see it here, more of like a waffle knit. It is a thicker cashmere sweater. So it is thicker than the ones that I typically grab for, which are your Aqua, your Saks Fifth Avenue, your Halogen, your Nordstrom Signature, and the Quince. So this is definitely a thicker, more boxy one. I think I checked recently and they don't make this exact one, but they had something similar, so I will link that down below. Then the next one, I have had this one. I think this was my first piece of cashmere that I ever purchased. I remember purchasing it from Nordstrom Rack so many years ago, and it still is in perfect shape. This is a mock neck turtleneck. It is from the brand Vince, from Vince Camuto. It is in a size large. It's kind of it's got that same feel as that heathered gray, but it's got a little bit more of a brown undertone to it. I actually didn't think I would love it, and I'm obsessed. It's more of like an oatmeal color is probably a good choice of a description. Now I will say, I love the idea of the mock neck because sometimes you don't want a full turtleneck on. Some people do not like a turtleneck at all. This is a great option if you don't want something that's a crew neck. Beautiful, feels amazing, so well made. Now I will say that Vince is typically closer to almost the $300 range, but when I purchased it at Nordstrom Rack, I think I paid around $60 or $70 for it. Next up is my favorite cashmere brand. I don't know why. They just really are. I have so many from them, you'll see as we go through. I don't think I have any real crew necks from them now that I say that. It's from the brand Pura Cashmere. This is in a size large. This one, I love this color. This green is so good. This is a mock turtleneck, but this is a little bit higher and it's not as tight in. It's a little bit more loose. It has more of a loose feel to it. It has this beautiful cable detail going down the front of it, but then it still has your band at the bottom and on the wrists. Now, I have previously worked with Pura Cashmere, so I will check with them and see if they are willing to extend the discount code they used to give for me. If so, I will post this here and down below. But Pura Cashmere is a very, very well made. It's a good comparable to that Lily Silk as far as thickness. It's super, super soft. Their sweaters are so well made. I just absolutely love their pieces. I have bought, with my own discount code, so many of them. Now I will mention as well is that Pura Cashmere is generally closer to the $200 mark, but they do a lot of sales, a lot of discounts, a lot of options. And then if I have a discount code, add that on top of it. It makes it at the higher point of what my typical price point is. But these are so well made. I definitely, once I got one and realized that, had no problem paying that little bit higher price point. I couldn't tell you which ones I purchased and which ones were sent to me back when I used to work with them. So I will also mention real quick the Vince one. This is a thicker one as well. So all three of these are a little bit on your thicker side, the ones that I have that are more mock neck style. Next, the category I probably have the most in are turtlenecks. And as I mentioned, you either love them or you hate them. I honestly used to hate them because I always worried about getting makeup on them and stuff like that. I don't honestly worry or care anymore. Little tip or trick, this is off topic, but when you go to put a turtleneck sweater on, any sweater on, you've already put your makeup on, throw your hair all the way up over your face and pull it down over. You won't get any makeup on it. Or you can put a scarf over your head. I've seen that one too. So let's see here. This first one here is from the Halogen brand as well. Now I will say, and I should have mentioned this with the V-neck. The V-neck's the only one that I don't notice it as much with. In this cream white color, the cashmere is never a pure white. It is always a off-white color, but you can see the hanger through this, right? It is a black hanger. So I will say, I love wearing white. I love white at my face. I love how it brightens it up, but I don't always love this. Like, I don't love how I end up wearing some sort of tank underneath of it, a nude colored flesh tone tank, but I just don't always love the cream off-white cashmere. If you know of a pure white cashmere, I would love to hear about it because I love the look of that, but I haven't found one as of yet. So again, this is Halogen. This one is your medium kind of weight, but again, because of the way it's made and the knitting and the color, it is definitely a little bit see-through, so be aware of that. Next up for turtlenecks, this one is from the brand Quince. This is my first like full cashmere sweater that I got from them. I'm pretty sure it's pure cashmere. Let's see if it says anywhere. I don't know that it says anything, but I'm 99% sure it is. I bought it in that same color as the one that I got from Bloomingdale's. I love this color. It's a turtleneck traditional. It is, thickness is right around all those others, so it's in that same range of the ones that I had talked about previously. They were my go-to brands for cashmere, the Aqua, the Nordstrom, and this one is now in that as well. The Halogen and the Saks Fifth Avenue ones are all around that same type of weight. Next one, this one is from the Nordstrom Signature, 100% cashmere, Nordstrom Signature. Now I will say this, with turtlenecks, should have probably mentioned this in the beginning. I feel like the turtlenecks are cut a little bit more boxy, whereas the crew necks are more skimming and fit to your body. The mock necks and the true turtlenecks are more boxy and straight up and down. Now, I do tuck them in because they are not crazy bulky. They give you the warmth of a really thick sweater, but then it gives you the weight and the ability to tuck in something like this. Now, I will say with this one, I just got this one this year and I probably should have gone with a medium, but I went with a large. It's definitely something that I need to take into consideration from here on out with any turtleneck style ones that I probably need to size down one size. But Nordstrom Signature is just such a great weighted one in that same realm as the other ones that I talked about. This next one, I've had it for some time now. Oh, this one's from Nordstrom too. For some reason, I thought this one was Aqua. This is just a black turtleneck, kind of similar. So the one I have on is not cashmere. It's just a Gap turtleneck t-shirt. It's more fitted. This is definitely more your boxier, again, as I mentioned. This one I've had for a lot of years. Again, Nordstrom's brand, along with, you know, these others that are consistently the same year after year, the Aqua, the Saks Fifth Avenue, all of those are consistently the same. Halogen is the only one that I will say thus far that I've talked about that does not consistently have the same ones year after year. So this one is in a size large. I might have to invest in a medium. This one's great for with leggings, but going that size down would make it something that's a little bit easier to kind of wear with something that might be a little bit baggier on the bottom, like a wide leg pant. However, I do also want to mention that in winter, my white t-shirt, as I spoke about earlier, is more of a black turtleneck, a black sweater. I tend to gravitate towards those. I love like this type, like a black t-shirt that also has a turtleneck to it. Something about it just, again, as I am paler, as I definitely don't have as much color to me, it makes a big difference. I feel like it brightens up my face. So the black turtlenecks in all the styles, from a t-shirt to a sweater to a cashmere, is definitely kind of my wheelhouse of my white t-shirt, because I can wear it with so many different things and really makes an outfit look put together. Now this next one, I think it might not even be cashmere, or it might be a blend. It is from Pure Cashmere as well. This thing, guys, I love this. I wear it so many different ways. Now this is a thicker, full cable knit turtleneck sweater. It is longer. It can be worn with leggings. You can use one of those belt clips that I showed you guys in a reel video that rolls up the sweater. This is probably, if I could only keep one sweater in all of my sweaters I have, I think it would be this. It's that good. All right, I found the tag. It's 10% cashmere, 90% wool. It's not itchy wool. It is, the back of it is the same as the front. You know how some of them, the back is just flat? It's so good. So if you do want a thicker sweater in cashmere, you're probably gonna have to go with some sort of blend. Now this next one is from Pure Cashmere. This is a new one to me this year. This is a black, longer turtleneck sweater. It does have ribbing just right about to here and then goes to the regular sweater. This one I did size down to a medium because I knew it was more of a tunic or oversized style. So I went to a size medium. Now this one is 30%, I checked the tag, 30% cashmere, and then it is 70% wool. This is a thicker sweater, not quite as thick as that cable knit I showed you, but it is a thicker than a traditional cashmere, and it's just so cozy. The last turtleneck that I'm gonna show you guys is a newer one to me this year. I got it, I wanna say a few months ago. I had been watching it last winter because it's from Vineyard Vines and it's a Fair Isles cashmere sweater. I had seen it, it was $328, and I was like, no, I'm not paying that. And so I had put it on my saved on my Like to Know It. I had saved it so in Like to Know It, I would be alerted if it went on sale, and it went on sale. They must have brought it back this year with like clearancing out items that they didn't end up restocking, and I got it for $89. And so it pays, following the LTK app, I'll put my link down below for that. If you favorite something, they will let you know if something goes on sale. But this just has this beautiful, can you see just the reflective detail to it? I love the idea of a Fair Isle sweater either way. I hadn't owned one previously. This one just really spoke to me, and I love a turtleneck. So all of these things together, again, it's kind of that oatmeal color tone. It'll go all winter. It just is a beautiful sweater. Now, this is my first time owning from them. Very similar in weight to those other ones that I spoke about. Now, would I traditionally pay the price point of this? Absolutely not. But if you can find a certain style you love from them on sale, it is well worth it. But if I was just buying a plain turtleneck without all of this, I would say to go with the Nordstrom cashmere or the Quince one. Now moving on to hoodie sweatshirts. Now this is a newer category to me because this year during the anniversary sale, I had seen and fallen in love with, it's the Nordstrom Signature. I bought it in a size medium. I'm a little surprised by that. I would have thought I would have ordered a large because it was the first cashmere hoodie sweatshirt I've ever seen. Again, this oatmeal color, I am obsessed with it. It is so beautiful on, so easy to wear, so many different ways. You can dress this up, you can make it casual. It is so comfortable, so soft. It just has a stunning look. It does not have a front pocket. They do now, on the ones they started selling, have that detail, but this is absolutely beautiful. Again, if I hadn't gotten it on sale, I wouldn't have paid the full price for it, but I think their prices have even come down on this now that it's getting into winter. It's a little bit thicker than my typical Nordstrom cashmere. It just has a little bit more weight to it, but it is absolutely such a thing I have fallen in love with this year. So because I fell in love with that one, I was on the search for another one. And I think someone that was following here when I had mentioned it suggested to me the Saks Fifth Avenue, which is how I originally found that crew neck as well. I think if I spent a certain amount, I got free shipping. And this is the Saks Fifth Avenue. It's the cashmere collection as well. I got this in a size large in this beautiful blue. It's not your traditional navy blue. This one does have your typical pocket that goes through. This one is a lighter weight than the Nordstrom one I just showed, but this is more the typical weight of any of the other cashmeres that I have talked about, kind of my middle of the line typical brands that I buy from. Again, this one was under $100 and I did get it in a size large. The next hoodie I got in the cashmere one is from the brand Quince. I think I paid, it was definitely under $100. I want to say it was $69. I might be off on that. and I found it in the men's section on Quince. Now, it does have the pocket that goes all the way through. It is in black. This one has a pretty kind of metal detail onto these. I did get it in a size large. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but it has a really nice detail right here in the front as well. This one is similar to the Nordstrom one. It's a little bit thicker. I have not yet worn this one. I thought this one just honestly with a pair of leggings and like Spanx leggings and a fun pair of sneakers would just really look great and give you that little bit more expensive or elevated look with still having that comfort to you. Now, I will say, I wasn't thinking when I ordered this, I ordered a large. I mean, it's fine because I wanted it more tunic style, but if I ordered another one in a different color, I think I would go to a size medium. Moving on to talk about scarves, which are kind of my last main thing that I use in my winter capsule wardrobe. And I had a black cashmere one that I really didn't grab for. And then I kept grabbing for other scarves that were gray and camel colored, but they weren't cashmere. So this year I did invest in some new scarves. Now, originally I had purchased from two different brands in the gray color. And you're gonna see here, you can definitely tell the difference here. Can you see the difference in the size? So this one here, the first one that you're seeing that is the thinner one, is from Quince, and then this one is from Nordstrom. Now I will say this one is around the $40 to $50 range. This one I think was around $115. Actually, it was recently on sale, so we'll check and see. But you are definitely, it depends on what the look is you're going for. I had originally said, I'm only gonna keep one, send one back, but I can find use for both of them. This size is typically more the size I personally grab for a scarf. I want a big fluffy scarf. I don't want like blanket scarf size. I can't do that. That's way too much on me. But I definitely want like fluffy, be able to like wear it a bunch of different ways, wrap it around. I want to be able to wear it around my jacket and kind of have it hang. This one here is definitely a little bit easier to just throw on and go. It's a little bit thinner. It's a little bit easier to work with. It doesn't have it's only this wide, whereas this one is super wide. So you definitely have to know how to play with them. So you really have to make a decision as to which one would better suit you price-wise and size-wise. The Quince one also has just a little bit of a ribbing to it, whereas this one is more your traditional style. So as I mentioned, I thought I was only going to have one, but I'm definitely going to be keeping both of them. Next up, as I mentioned, I do love this type of color. It's funny, I don't have any sweaters in this color, but I love my coat that's in this color, and I love a scarf in this color, especially against a black coat. This is just absolutely beautiful. It is from Nordstrom as well. It is new to me this year in that same price range. It definitely has a thinner feel to it. All of the scarves are a little bit thinner. They're not as thick as some of the sweaters. You don't want them to be super crazy thick, but this is a great classic. It will always be in style, and I will be able to wear it year and year and year after year. So that's why I don't mind paying a little bit more for it. And I did pay full price on both of these, which I don't typically do. But as I mentioned, I do think these were on sale last time I checked. The last cashmere piece that I want to mention is a splurge. It is different than any of the other pieces I've spoken about. This one was a gift to me. I have it in the classic style, and this is from Burberry, and it is their classic checked scarf. It has fringe at the bottom. None of those other scarves, by the way, had fringe at the bottom. You can see the fringe movement here. This one is the one that I was grabbing for the most, and that's why I kind of realized that I would like kind of that camel color. And then there were also times that I grabbed for it definitely for more of that gray tone. So this is a great mix of all of the ones I had, but realistically, this one is probably the cost of all three of them together. So now that you have seen all of the items that I have, I will say, to kind of round it up and give you an idea, if you are new to cashmere and trying to figure out how you want to start purchasing, the top 5 items that I would suggest for you to start with are a heather gray crew neck, a black turtleneck, a kind of neutral toned mock neck, a hoodie, sweater, sweatshirt in your favorite color, and then also a scarf of some sort. So you have 5 items that would be great to start off anyone just getting into cashmere. If you want information on any of the items I talked about, they will be listed down below for you. So those are all of my cashmeres that I currently own, the brands I own, the styles I have. This gives you an idea of price point, fit, and styles that would be a good idea to incorporate into your wardrobe. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions on any of the ones you saw here, please let me know, and have a great weekend.